Oh, good morning. Well, actually, afternoon, but how's everybody doing? Hang on just a minute while I make my final setup things here. Just a second. Let's see. Do that. And that. And that. Well, nobody is in here yet, but that's okay. I'm a little early to start. Actually, I'm late to start, but I'm early to start with respect to what I said I was going to start today. Sorry, I'm late though. I usually start these at noon. Um, I had an appointment at 11, and I actually got home on time enough to start at noon, but just barely. And I just figured I'd give myself an extra half hour for traffic. It is tourist season down here where I live. Not so much tourists as in people coming down for the sunshine and the warm weather, but tourist season with respect to now is the time of year when all the Canadians who own homes down here flee to sunny Florida for 6 months so that they don't have to endure snowfall measured in feet. Yeah. My neighborhood is starting to fill up with a lot of Canadians right now. Razorback fans here. How you doing? And Cowboy Swami is here. So I've got one of my football guys and one of my watch guys. Hope y'all had a good holiday. At least first part of the holiday. We got one down and one down and two to go, really. Either Hanukkah for me or Christmas for you and New Year's. So we're a third of the way through the silly season. Hanukkah, by the way, this year begins sunset or sundown, if you prefer, on December 10th and runs through December 18th. Of course, Christmas is Christmas. It's always the same day. In this case, it falls on Friday, which is very convenient. And then there's New Year's, and we can finally put this utter and complete disaster year of 2020 behind us. And hopefully, with the advent of a vaccine and a few other good bits of news here and there, we can put all the insanity of 2020 behind us, and maybe 2021 will be a better year. I guess that depends on how you look at certain aspects of life, which I really don't want to get into at this point. But you know what I'm talking about. How you doing, Ballard? Ballard, you can say Merry Christmas to me. I'm not gonna block you. I can say Merry Christmas without bursting into flames. I mean, I am aware that 95% of this country, or 94% of this country, is Christmas. About 5% Hanukkah and 1% whatever stuff. And that's fine with me. Kevin Cook is here. Yes, who have they played? I am wearing my brand new, just arrived yesterday, but who have they played? Hoodie. I got this when I got this through the Patreon thing that I belong to with Uncle Lou. You either get to choose 2 shirts or 1 hoodie, and I went for the 1 hoodie. And I had to get, but who have they played? And yes, I am wearing a hoodie. It is cold down here in Florida. Let me see right now. Hang on. It is. Now, I realize cold is a relative term. Now it's warmed up, actually. It's now 60 degrees out. It dropped down into the upper 30s last night. I realize, 60 degrees for a lot of you folks, you'd be wearing shorts and a t-shirt and running around outside playing beach volleyball. But for Floridians, 60 degrees is cool. And, it's not supposed to get much warmer than that. And so hoodie. And actually, this hoodie that I got from Uncle Lou's shop, it's not, it's well made. It's a nice hoodie. It's not one of those heavyweight suckers. So it's good to wear. It's not uncomfortable. And it's got plenty of room under the cuff so I can wear a watch that's, not terribly thin. And my neck is sore as usual. So I'm sorry if I go like this a lot, but my neck hurts. Neo, how you doing, sir? 28 degrees if I remember correctly, somewhere in northern Georgia for Kevin Cook. I really don't want to put I'll put the hood up. It messes my hair up. See? And now my hair is messed up. Terrific. Anyway, Ballard says it's 53. Well, I don't know where in Florida you are. I'm going to assume it's north of me. Now you made me mess my damn hair up. Damn it. Outside of Athens. Okay, so that's cool. Anyway, I hope you all are had a good Tampa area. So you're not far from me, actually. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. I did the cooking this year. I'm good at it. I'm actually a good cook. You can tell. Nice big fat guy. Gonna fit in real well at the Slob Olympics on March 5th, 6th, and 7th, 2021, assuming that the Wuhan Red Death has subsided and or the incoming administration doesn't crack us down with draconian laws about travel and ban fuel-fed cars and things like that. I will be there, barring some health issue with myself or another member of my family. I will be there. Uncle Lou will be there. BVD will be there. Many other people will be there. I'm not sure if the chess hall is supposed to be there. A few other people, I think. Kevin, I think you said you might be going. Ballard might be going. Jesse J might be going. Lots of people might be going. Let's see. What's my Razorback wants to know what my favorite type of pie is? Key lime. I'm not a fruit pie eater, so I don't eat fruit. I've never liked fruit. I'm not really supposed to eat fruit now with the type 2 diabetes. But when I do have pie, I like key lime pie. Very good stuff. It has to be made with real key limes. And yes, there is a difference. You can't make key lime pie without key limes, so don't even try me. I got to find this oilless fryer. You send me the link. It's bookmarked, Kevin. I've got to go check that out for myself. But like I said, I did all the cooking for my family with the exception of two things my mom made. I was really blessed this year because I got myself, my mom, my dad, and both my daughters at the dinner table at the same time and had a wonderful evening with both my girls, both my parents. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to have that blessing of having both my parents around. My dad is coming to 87 years old, actually in a week, actually less than a week, really. Less than a week. He'll be 87. He's okay now, but 87-year-old man is not going to live forever. He knows it. We all know it. We don't want it to end, but, as they say, death is a part of life. And I am truly blessed to have my father still in my life. I'm blessed that both my daughters were there. I'm very grateful for that. And it was a good thing. It was a great Thanksgiving. It was one for the memory books. So everything went great. And, turkey was great. Ate the hell out of that. I love turkey. I also love the next day making a sandwich, turkey, some Swiss cheese, some stuffing, some gravy, and I smashed that between two halves of a bagel and just sit there and just nom 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 nom, just love it. Just very happy, happy boy for lunch the next day. Very happy with that. Jerry Wells is here. How you doing, sir? Thanks for stopping by. Big Dog Brett is here. Big Wrist is here. How you doing, sir? I haven't seen you here in a while. I'm sorry about that, Brett. I did not know that. I don't know what else to say other than I'm sorry about that. I really am. I don't even know how old you are now, so I know that pain will never go away. I do understand that, but I am sorry about that. No ketchup on turkey, Kevin. No. When BVD said that, I lost a little bit of respect. I really don't understand ketchup on turkey. Like I don't understand mayonnaise on ham. Ham sandwich with mayo. My younger daughter loves that. I always kid her that her, must have been her real father was Canadian or something. She hates it when I say that, so she hits me. So I don't say that very often now because when she hits me, it hurts. Oh, you're 40, Brett? I didn't know that. Jerry wants to know what my thoughts are on Lou's firing of Chess Hall. That's Lou's call, obviously. I mean, Chess was hired to do a specific task on a specific day at a more or less specific time. Chess knew it. I mean, it wasn't a mystery. Chess knew what time, what day it was to happen. Chess knew what time it was supposed to happen. Chess didn't show up. This is not the first time that Chess didn't show up for something. I mean, I understand this is all part of kind of a running gag and all that, but if you want to take this half seriously, Lou's running a business. He's running a show. It's running a business. This is how he puts food on the table, puts a roof over his head, builds a she shed in the backyard, all that schmata. And he's running a business. And when you run a business and you're going to employ someone and they don't show up and they keep not showing up and they keep making promises that they don't keep, at some point you got to say, enough already. I made commitments based on you saying you would be here to do a certain task at a certain time, and you didn't hold up your end of the bargain, so you're fired. I mean, in the end, I realize this is a running gag and it's a bit and all that and so on, and it's not to be taken as serious as like, oh, Lou fired Chess, I'm never gonna jump on one of his streams again, I'm gonna unsubscribe and blah blah blah. It's a bit, it's a gag, it's a funny in at a certain level, but Lou's relying on people to do certain things at certain times, and Chess didn't come through. So he didn't ban him from the channel. He didn't suspend him. He didn't cut him off. He didn't say go away for 2 weeks like he's done before. He just said, you're fired. You're not going to do the traffic report anymore. We'll find someone else to do it. Okay, I understand. Chess the ball was all in Chess's corner, and Chess dropped the ball. I like Chess. He's a good kid. But at some point, the good kids got to grow up a little bit. So maybe Chess will take this to heart and change his ways a bit, but that's up to Chess. So, but it's Lou's channel, and obviously he can do what he wants. Let's see. Cowboy Swami says, would you know the difference between submarine steel versus hardened stainless? Which would be more durable? Honestly, I wouldn't know the difference. I would think that steel that was made for a submarine, particularly a military submarine, would by definition have to be a higher grade steel and a harder steel to put up with the pressure of water on top of it. So if I had to make a guess, I would say that. Brett says, thanks. I appreciate all those that are still here all the more. I agree. Ballard, no, I'm not gonna. No, tomato and mayo sandwich. I mean, if that's what you like, great. But the only way I consume tomatoes is when they're made into sauce. So Kevin Cook says he eats mayo on all sandwiches except sausage patty sandwiches. He uses mustard. Okay, well, you do you, sir. I eat mayo on turkey sandwiches, on ham sandwiches. It's usually a spicy mustard, either brown mustard or Grey Poupon mustard. But that's me, Slim Shady Canes is here. How you doing, sir? Appreciate you stopping by. Albert Sancho is here, another Gator. I appreciate that. Help me defend myself against all the Bulldogs in here. Kevin, I'm sure that Lou at some point will unblock George simply for the entertainment value, but George doesn't know when to. George does too much George sometimes, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. George just doesn't have the ability to pull it back a little bit, to realize that at some point you transition from shtick to stupidity. He doesn't have that filter. So every once in a while you got to put George on a leash. So I'm sure that at some point Lou will let him off the leash. Jerry Wells says, I offered Chess $30 to make a musical tribute video honoring Derek Mason, and he declined. I made the offer to BBD. Okay. I think BBD would do it simply because BVD's better at editing than anyone else, except maybe Lou. I don't know why either BVD or Lou wouldn't do it. Ballard said, I found a watch on that site, Long Island, you recommended. Your thoughts on Citizen brand? I've owned several Citizen watches. Citizen, Casio, Seiko, Orient. And Long Island Watch, his own house brand. 5 entry-level watches. They all use great components. They're well assembled. The 3 or 4 Citizen watches I've owned over a period of time have been great watches. They fulfilled their roles beautifully, and I was very happy to own them. So pretty much whatever Citizen watch you found, Ballard, if the price is right for you, I would say go get it. Pardon me. Burp. You asked your grandma for one for Christmas, $99. Yeah, I'd do it. I think Citizen makes it. I owned a really nice Citizen. It was one of their Eco Drives. It was a Blue Angel tribute watch. They made several different styles of them. Just a fantastic pilot's watch, timer, stopwatch, perpetual calendar. It was radio beacon updated from the Naval Observatory, sends out a radio signal all the time that updates the watch to the atomic clock time. It was a fantastic watch. I think I paid like a couple $100 for it. I actually sold it for more than I paid for it because that watch wasn't being produced anymore and somebody wanted it, so I sold it to them. Great watch. I would definitely go get it. Salita is here. Good. He says he's back from the doctors. That's good. They said it was inflamed due to the beard, gave me antibiotics and medicated benzo. Okay, good. I thought it might have been something like that, Salita. I'm glad that they determined that and they got you on some treatment. No problem, Dave. One thing, I tried to emphasize a lot on your stream yesterday. I want to make sure you hear this clear. However many pills they prescribe for you for the antibiotics, even if you take a quarter of them or half of them and you feel better, finish the regimen. Every single pill. Yeah. Okay, trim it. Okay, good. I want you to type back to me in the comments that you heard what I said. Okay? Promise me you will take all the. I know you're not a big fan of medications. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you saw that. I know you're not a big fan of prescription medications or any kind of medications. I understand that. But in this case, you have to finish the regimen. They always prescribe a specific amount of medicine for a specific need. If you undercut that, you risk the infection coming back. So, okay. Yes, thank you, Dave. I appreciate you telling me that you hear me and you understand. Okay. Yeah, it is very uncomfortable. I've had one of those here and here. They always seem to form right in these quote unquote corners, something, an ingrown hair or a pimple under your beard. You can't get to it and it abscesses and it is painful as all some bitch. But, I've been lucky. I have only had one infection on that and had to take antibiotics for it. But it's a side effect of having a beard. Sometimes you can't get under there to clean the skin properly. And it happens. Yeah, funny. My dad is a doctor. My grandfather's is a doctor, and his brother was a doctor. So I've had multiple doctors, and my mom is a biochem major from Mount Holyoke. So I got a lot of medicine background in my family. So you hear all this stuff, and you just learn it over time. Common sense, really. Let's see. Big Rest says pre-1944 steel or battleship steel does not contain the radioactive isotope from nuclear testing considered valuable for certain medical uses. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, Jerry, Selena's name has been kicked around quite a bit lately. I actually thank you, Jerry. I want to segue into that, and I hope Dave is still in here to hear this. And I know there's a lot of folks here from the college football side of the world, and Selena is the pro football side of the world. I like to be in both sides of the world because there's great people in both arenas. Obviously, I lean more towards the college football side. Because everyone knows I have very little love and almost no use for the no fun league, but to each his own. I think, there was a shitstorm kicked up recently because they decided that he didn't, for his own reasons, that he had decided that even though he made a commitment earlier to attending the Slob Olympics, he had decided not to attend. He made a video, and whatever you think of Dave is immaterial to this point I want to make. He made a video. He explained himself. Now, whether you think that he's being dramatic or self-serving or self-centered, I don't think any of those things. I think he had specific reasons for not attending the Slob Olympics. They make perfect sense to me after he explained himself in that video, which he subsequently had to take down because he was getting all kinds of silly comments. And he was being inundated, I guess, and he just didn't need it. He had made his point, and he didn't need to keep the video up anymore. And I really think that, and this is just my opinion, I think that the folks going in there on every one of his subsequent videos and saying, why aren't you going to be at the Slob Olympics? Type. Come on, guys. We on the college side of this spectrum need to be better than that. I mean, okay, it was funny and cutesy for a day when my friend Lou said, everyone go in there and just type in, why aren't you going to the Slob Olympics? Okay, funny. Okay, funny, quote unquote. It's 2 weeks subsequent to that. Leave the guy alone. He doesn't want to come. He committed to going. He's after the fact, he decided he's not going to go. He has his reasons. He's explained his reasons. They are good reasons. They have a logic to them. And even if they didn't have a logic to them and you don't think they're good reasons, respect the man. He made a choice. He doesn't want to participate. He has reasons. Let it go. Leave the guy alone. I accept his reasoning. I mean, I've committed to being at the Slob Olympics. I've made my hotel reservations. I planned the trip. Everyone, all my family knows I'm going. I'm even on the graphic that Lou made on his channel. I have the graphic on my channel somewhere. I'm listed on the graphic, but I've always said there is a caveat. If something goes wrong in my family with respect to somebody's health, including my own, I'm not going to go. Also, if I know that there's somebody or a couple of somebodies there that I have serious conflict with, and I choose at the time not to go because I don't need that kind of bullshit in my life, I'm not going to go. And I expect people to respect my decision for not going. So I don't see why anyone, whether it's Melissa May, whether it's Chess, whether it's me, or hell, whether it's even BVD, one of the founders of this whole idea, if they decide at whatever point in time between now and March 5th that they're not going to attend, and even if they have no reason, that's the end of it. That's their decision. We're all adults here. Dave Salida, Sports Live in the ATL, made a decision not to go. And he didn't even have to explain himself. He's a man. He's an adult. He has a life. He has a life outside of YouTube, which I sure as hell don't, but that's just me. He made a decision. Let him be. Leave him the fuck alone. Leave him alone. He made a decision, and he may change his mind at some point. He's got 4 months before 3 months. December, 3 months. He could change his mind again and come. Okay. He didn't have to explain it to us why he didn't want to come. He wanted to explain. He explained. And he got beat up for it. I don't understand that. I'm not going to beat him up for it. I'm going to support him. And if you guys are going to be mad at me for that, I'm older than almost all of you. I can handle it. I've had people mad at me for plenty of shit before, worse than this. So, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Let's see. Steve Pearson's here. How you doing? Okay, Salida put the video on the backup channel. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's his choice. He's an adult, and you're welcome. Ballard, no, Grantham hasn't been fired yet. I wish he would be. I really do. I mean, I made the promise on here that if Florida beat Georgia, I would drop the hashtag fire Grantham thing. I would drop it from here. I would drop it on my chat posts. And for the most part, I would drop it on my YouTube videos, except for those rants I did during and after the Kentucky game. But I still want him gone. I still think he's worthless, and I think he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it another 1,000 times. The fish rots from the head down. The problems with Florida's defense start with the DC. And they drop down to the players. If you watch that Kentucky game, especially the first half, you saw a defensive team running around before the ball was snapped by Kentucky. They're running around. They're out of position. I saw 5 times that I can think of right off the top of my head where, what's his name? Elam, number 3, one of the secondary folks, running up and down the line, trying to figure out where the hell he's supposed to be in relation to the defensive formation. He's back and forth all over the place. Doesn't know where he was, and he got beat once for a pretty good gain because he didn't know where the hell he was supposed to line up in the defensive formation. This is a lack of leadership. And it's very concerning because, I mean, Florida played against Vandy and against Kentucky. They played a full game of offense, more or less, and a half of defense. And they can get away with that against Vandy and Kentucky and probably even against the Vols. And it looks like we're playing LSU on the 12th. And they'll probably get away with it with them too. But Bama will destroy that defense. They cannot play one half of ball. From the first second of the game to the triple zeros at the end of the game, that Florida defense has to play 100% all 4 quarters against Alabama. And Florida cannot do 3 and outs on offense. That offense has to outscore their defense, or Alabama will road grade us by 3 scores. That's not Kentucky. That's not Tennessee you're lining up against in the SEC championship game. That's Alabama. They got a running back who is a tank. They have a really good core of wide receivers, even without Waddle. And they've got a very, very serviceable quarterback. I mean, he's not number 2 in the Heisman race because of his sterling personality. He can chuck the pigskin real good, and he's going to stretch that defense. That defense better be on its toes without its head up its own ass, or that's going to be another 2016. And I, for one, don't want to watch that game repeated. 2016 was an embarrassment. We need to make up for that in 2020. Where am I? Okay. You're welcome, Dave. Okay, I understand you're not going to change your mind. I was just putting that out there as, the possibility. You change your mind, you change your mind again. It happens, but you're not going to change your mind. I respect that. I respect the reasoning you gave. It's perfectly logical to me. I'm going to miss I'm going to miss you there. I was looking forward to meeting you along with a bunch of other people, but as the song said, que sera, sera. Let's see. Ballard says his 1-year YouTube anniversary is next week, doing a big stream at 10 p.m. on the 9th. I'll try and be there, sir. I don't have anything going on at the time. That's good, though. I mean, congratulations. In a few weeks, my 350th video will be released, which I'm proud of that. I mean, I realize that compared to a lot of YouTubers, 350 videos, they passed that a century ago. But I'm just a little channel. I haven't even hit 1,700 subs yet. I really would like to. I'd like to hit 2,000 before I die, really. But just a little channel about watches and college football and driving. To do 350 videos, pat myself on the back. I think I did good there. And Lou is here. Lou has a Tissot and a Bulova. He demands to be taken seriously by the watch community. I take you seriously, Lou. I mean, I know a lot of collectors that have Tissot. I know a lot of collectors. I have two Bulovas myself. I'm looking to acquire a couple more in 2021, but one of them costs about $4,000. So that'll take a while. Let's see. Jimmy Thomos. Thomos? All is well. I don't know why he calls me kiddo, unless he's older than me. Why do I know Jimmy Thomos? Where do I know that name from? Well, hey, Lou, Cowboy Swami says those are good watches. Cowboy Swami is part of my watch community, and I've seen a bit of his collection. So if he says, they are good watches, Swami knows what he's talking about. I guarantee. Kevin Cook says, good luck with Bama. He's laughing. Okay. Well, Lou, there are some swatches out there that are definitely collectible watches. So you think you're kidding around here, but there are some swatches out there that the collectors are very, very serious about. One off the top of my head that is they call it the Swatch Jelly. I think it's called the Jelly. The whole thing is clear. The strap is clear. The case is clear plastic. The strap feels very jelly-like. Has that kind of rubbery texture. That's why they call it that. But I think they call it the jellyfish, actually. Very collectible watch. Let's see. Ballard says, like I told you a couple of weeks ago, Florida's best hope is that Bama's defense doesn't show up. Well, Bama's defense is going to show up. They are getting better every week. So Florida's best hope right now is that Alabama makes mistakes or Alabama overlooks Florida somehow. Florida has a chance. They are a very good team. The defense isn't as good as Bama's. I think their offense arguably is as good as Alabama's. So Florida's going to have to play the game of the season to beat Alabama. But Alabama is mortal. They are not unbeatable. So I think it's going to be a good game. So I think Florida has a good chance. And I think it's going to be a good game. And we'll just see what happens on, the 19th? We'll see what happens on the 19th. Yeah, Albert. I think it's going to be a tough game. It might go in overtime, but that's only if Florida's defense plays all 4 quarters. If Florida's defense doesn't play all 4 quarters, this game will never see overtime. Dave, no, I used to live in Georgia. I used to live in Kennesaw. Actually, I lived in Marietta first, then I moved to Kennesaw. But I live in Florida now. I moved back to Florida in 2001 because, quite honestly, I didn't want to raise my children in Metro Atlanta. There are specific reasons for that. One had to do with an incident that happened on a school bus that was in Cherokee County, which is the next county north of where I lived, where a 13-year-old literally killed a 15-year-old on the school bus. It was an accident, but it still happened. And I didn't want to live in Metro Atlanta with young daughters anymore. I wanted to live in Florida, where I grew up, and live closer to my parents. So we made that happen in 01, and I've been here ever since. So what's that? Almost 20 years now. Pretty much my entire younger daughter's lifetime, except for a couple of months. But I do miss Metro Atlanta. I miss a lot of things about Metro Atlanta. I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the balkanization of the entire metro, but I do miss some things about Metro Atlanta. I miss a lot of my friends up there too. That happens sometimes, Ballard. Sometimes the comment software will post a comment twice for no real good reason. Let's see. Big Rest says he's going to hit 100 videos around Christmas. Very good. Very good. Okay, so Jimmy says he's not younger than me. He's older. Oh, okay. Now I get, okay, yeah. Jimmy, for those of you who don't know, I used to be very active in another YouTube group called No Good Reason to Stream. That's a type of, there are multiple stream channels like this where they stream videos, mostly of videos like sovereign citizens, people from the Moorish temple, those type of people who get stopped by the cops and then argue with them about they're not driving, they're traveling, and bullshit like that. And also other videos about, some of the crazier folks out there that make videos. There's one lady named Gail who rants all the time about space aliens and that Brent Spiner from Star Trek: The Next Generation is her secret husband or something. And what the folks do is they play the videos and then they stop them and they make comments about them and just roast the video participants. It's a lot of fun. And Jimmy and I and a bunch of other folks, I think you've seen the lady on here. She goes by LC, which is my friend Liddy over in Australia. We sit there and we make comments on the video. And it's a lot of fun. But unfortunately, from what happened to me was the channel owner and I had a falling out over a misunderstanding about some comments I made. We never saw quite eye to eye politically or philosophically or such like that. And I guess it was, one comment too many, and he and I had a falling out. And I lost a friend, and that was very upsetting to me. But, he didn't want me around anymore, so he banned me from the channel. Kicked me out of his Facebook and Messenger and all that. So, lost a friend, which is never a good thing, but that was almost 2 years ago now. So, but there are other people that had similar things happen to them after I got kicked out. So there's a whole lot of exiles from that channel. But I have nothing but, wishing the guy who owned the channel, I wish him nothing but success. And, I hope he's doing well. I don't talk to him anymore. I hope he's okay. I understood he got married recently. So, good luck to him. But I miss it sometimes. But there are other channels like that out there that I can amuse myself with. But, things happen. Disagreements happen. Let's see. Kevin Cook said he had to go grab some lunch. He's probably already gone, but thanks for stopping by, Kevin. I always appreciate your support. Let's see. Lou says he's going to try and fix his Rolex this afternoon. I would say that the spatula would probably work a little better than a hammer. Please don't take a hammer to a Rolex. If you're that angry at the damn watch, sell it to me. I'll deal with your Rolex. Hopefully you kept the box and paperwork too, but please don't take a hammer to a Rolex. That's not nice. Dave, I wouldn't mind doing that. Before or after the event. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. We'll talk about that offline if you want. But yeah, I'm amicable to that. You don't have to treat me for that if you don't want to. Albert, Atlanta's booming and getting expensive. Yeah, I don't doubt that. It's expensive just because you're sitting around idling your tank dry in traffic. Steve, yeah, you remember that story. Yeah, the story was, briefly, it wasn't at the bus stop per se. The bus was, what happened was this 13-year-old kid, I think it was a young boy, was being bullied on the bus daily by a 15-year-old. And something happened this one particular day, and at the bus stop that they both got off, for some reason, the 13-year-old snapped or something, and he hit the kid. And they were going down the steps of a bus. You know how the bus, and the kid was just one step above the 15-year-old, and he swung and he hit him, right here behind the ear where it's soft, and something and something happened with that soft bone. He hit him in such a way that soft bone pushed in and did something to his brain, or maybe his brain stem, and killed the kid. It was supposedly he was dead before he hit the ground. And my wife and I, at the time, were in bed, and we were just lying there watching the evening news. And if you live in Metro Atlanta, you know the evening news always leads with about a half a dozen murders or deaths. Every single newscast, doesn't matter which network, they lead with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 dead people all the time. Then they do the weather. And we're just laying there, and I looked at her and I said, we're leaving. As soon as I can make it happen, and she is at the time very pregnant with my second child. I said, we're leaving. As soon as I can make that happen, we are out of here. Because we both talked about moving to Florida a lot, especially in the last 2 years before we actually moved. And we were going to move to where I am now. And I said, we're leaving. We're going there. And we did. And that was the story that was the last friggin' straw for me. That incident just crystallized everything that I had in me that said, get the hell out of Atlanta. Chris from Watch Lounge is here. Bobby's getting about 4 watches soon from James, and we'll be sending. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I need watches. I need some content. I need some more watches to review. So thank you, Chris. I really, really appreciate that. Neil, you're right. I forgot. You are older than me, and I'm sorry that's depressing. But I'm older than BVD, and that's depressing. So, but Chris, I appreciate that. As soon as you can get him down here, I'll in your debt. Thank you very much. Jerwell says, do you think some of those lockdowns in some of the states are conflict with the Constitution? No, because for better or for worse, the 10th Amendment to the Constitution delegates powers that are not delegated directly to the federal government in the Constitution, are delegated to the states or to the people. So are all the lockdowns unconstitutional? No, probably not. However, unilateral action by a governor in and of itself is probably unconstitutional. A lot of what they're doing probably should be going through the state legislatures. But that's up to the individual states and the people in those states to handle their business. For example, I have quite a few people I know that live in Michigan that are really pissed off at that Governor Whitlis and really want her to suffer and get out of office and stop making their lives miserable. I know some folks live out in California feel the same way. The governors are overstepping their bounds in their opinion. Well, they might be, but nobody in those states seems to want to step up and stop them. Violation of the federal Constitution, probably not. If they were, those actions were violations of the federal Constitution, I guarantee you a case would be before the Supreme Court already. Now, there were some things that were done that violated the Supreme Court. Violated the Constitution with respect to religious liberty. There was a case in New York where Cuomo overstepped his power and authority, and the Supreme Court just recently struck that down. But that had to do with religious freedom. So there's that. But other things may not be federal issues. They may be state issues. So it's going to end up being a case-by-case thing, quite honestly. Boston is definitely more expensive than either Atlanta or all of Florida. But Boston has Massachusetts has a state income tax, which is rather high. And then Boston has their own tax problems. So that's why the cost of living up there is higher. Well, no problem, Dave. I appreciate you stopping by. We will keep in touch, sir. I assure you. And I'm glad that medical diagnosis was something that could be easily handled on your end. I'm grateful for that. So I'll see you soon. Albert says he's sorry to hear that. I'm not sure what he's sorry about, but Pizza Woman's here. How you doing? This is a hoodie. See, hoodie? This is a hoodie, Pizza Woman. But I ordered it from Lou, and it's really comfortable. It's not too heavy, but it definitely keeps me warm down here in Florida, where it's cold. For Florida, it's cold, so I'm very comfortable. This just got here yesterday, so I like it. I like it. But who have they played? Who have they played? Who has anybody played? Well, Florida played Georgia and won. But never mind that. Let's see. Jerry Wells says, thanks. When you mentioned your previous YouTube experience, I figured you would give it okay, well, I appreciate that, sir. I do. I try to give intelligent responses to questions. I try not to insult the intelligence of my audience. I really don't. I educated myself for a reason, for multiple reasons, but one reason was so I could hold a conversation, Big Rich says the Michigan governor has lost at the higher courts multiple times. Very true. The Michigan governor and the California governor should probably get the message by now. I think the New York governor should be brought up on charges for what he did with respect to COVID in the nursing homes. I think that's chargeable offense, but what do I know? I'm just some dumb Floridian, right? Florida man doesn't know anything. Let's see. I'm going to put the link to the StreamYard in the comments, just in case anyone wants to join me. Also, I'm going to mention real quick, please, at some time, I'd appreciate if you click that like button, the thumbs up button for me. It does help the channel out, I would like to get into double digits on the like button. I mean, we got 15 people in here. Surely we could get to double digits on the likes. Super chat is available if anyone has the desire to support the channel. Also in the description is my YouTube is my PayPal link. Don't have to do any of that. Just being here, I appreciate. Spending an afternoon with me, I do appreciate it. And I do keep checking my phone because I do have one of my cars is in the shop. I'm expecting, them to let me know if they found anything. It's my daily driver. My Hyundai is in the shop. Saleen is fine. In fact, I'll be taking that out a little bit later to do a shopping run. The Hyundai just need a little maintenance, but I'm waiting for the dealership to call me and let me know that the car is going to be okay. Let's see. Mr. Chris is here. There's Chris.
What's up, Dane?
What's up, man? So what are you sending me, man?
Not much. James just reviewed him. I don't know that he's released any of his videos yet because he's like you. He does them like weeks ahead of time. But the cow, the multiverse. Have you seen that one?
Yeah,
it's kind of like an Arnold and Sons.
Yeah, I haven't.
He's sending. Nice. Yeah, he's sending that one. Of course, the ocean crawler that I had in the Black Dial, the core diver.
I don't want to get my hands on an ocean crawler forever.
The Vario Empire. I don't know if you've had that one yet or not. And the Swiss watch company, their sport watch. He's sending those for in.
Oh, that's cool.
Those are four I've already had. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that'll hopefully get me through January.
I've been getting kind of backed up. I don't know if you saw Roman sent in like 7 different pieces, so I cranked out 2 of those reviews today, and then I got 3 more in, a couple from Art over Discord.
Yeah.
And then one from Bobby.
See you later,
so
Albert.
I'm
Thanks
trying
for stopping by.
Crank them out myself.
Yeah, I saw that you were getting a little full there. I'm hoping to have that problem someday. Unfortunately, I just don't have the outside contacts that you have for some reason. But occasionally, watches find their way to me to play with. For a while there, I was getting a few watches from Kickstarter guys, but that seems to have tapered off a bit.
Okay.
I was really upset. I'm really upset that I don't remember if you backed the Kickstarter like I did, but Iconic.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that seems to be. Unfortunately, that seems to have hit a major stone wall, and unless something happens to change it, it looks like we're not getting the watches.
That sucks.
We're going to get our money back, but
yeah,
hell, I wanted the watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks for him because he seems like he's a pretty cool guy,
Oh, he is. I've talked to him a lot. He actually doesn't live very far from me. He lives about an hour or so south of me.
I didn't think you guys live too far away.
No, I'd actually like to meet the guy in person.
Yeah.
I was hoping to meet the guy in person and you hand me my watch, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I
don't know if you saw.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I was lucky enough to be a guest on Roman Sharp's channel. Did you see that?
I saw that you were. I didn't get to see the video. I've got to go watch that. It's actually on my watch later list. Hang on a minute. By the way, for you guys that don't know, who are still in here, Watch Lounge here, Chris, Clemson fan.
Yeah. I'm hoping we win out and have our rematch against Notre Dame. Our defense is finally getting healthy again, so we're starting to play decent defense again. We had like 3 or 4 starters that were hurt.
I wish we would play some defense at all, but that's another story. We're going to bring Slim Shady Canes in, my buddy.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing? So,
How's it going, bud?
Slim Shady Canes, in case you didn't figure it out yet, is a Miami Hurricane fan. So I'm all alone against two ACC guys.
Hey, but
God help me.
I'm rooting for chaos. Honestly, I want to see, Florida and A&M with one loss, Miami, Notre Dame, and Clemson all with one loss. I'm rooting for chaos.
Which, if we don't make the ACC, I think you guys will be in the championship, right? In Miami.
I think it would take it. See, here's the thing.
I think we're going to win out, though.
I think y'all are too. Clemson would. Not Clemson. Notre Dame would have to take a loss. And then they're kind of in a bit of a conundrum because I think they're going to go by the two highest ranked at that point, which is going to ruffle a lot of feathers. I don't think that's necessarily right to go by the two highest ranked. Honestly, it's what they get for not scheduling Miami and Notre Dame to play.
I don't know if there's any Ohio State fans in here, but I don't like the fact that Ohio State's only played like 2 or 3 games, and yet they're ranked where they're at.
No, there's no Ohio State folks in here right now that I know of.
I think they always overrate them.
I was actually listening to a sports radio this morning. 2 things that jumped out when I was listening to them. One is that they don't think that Ohio State, if they only get to 5 games, they don't think that Ohio State should get in because there's supposed to be that 6-game minimum. And they were also talking about briefly that if Florida beats Alabama, maybe could happen. You never know. If Florida beats Alabama, they do see a chaos situation occur. If Bama beats Florida, it's a hell of a lot less chaotic than if Florida beats Alabama. Do you still bring Alabama in as one of the seeds, or what happens to Notre Dame if Florida is the SEC champion? Now you've got 2. Well, hell, you've got 3. If A&M wins out, now you've got 3 one-loss SEC teams and a one-loss Clemson if they win out. So then you've got Ohio State at 4-0 or 5-0. Do you let them in, or do you say no? You haven't played enough games yet, and all these other teams have played 9 and 10 games. So this can be very chaotic. And against my better judgment, I'm going to bring a Gump in.
You could have plus ACC teams with Notre Dame, Clemson, and Miami.
Yeah, that's true. It could be that. I mean, if Bama beats Florida, that's 2 losses for Florida. And let's say, who's A&M got this week? The Barn? Unlikely, but if A&M loses, which I actually hope A&M loses on Saturday just to shut the A&M people up because Pizza Woman, I'm being told Pizza Woman is an Ohio State fan. I apologize, Pizza Woman. I know you told me that before, but I'm getting old, so yeah, if A&M has 2 losses, Florida has 2 losses, Alabama has 0. Yeah, I can see a scenario with 3 ACC teams getting in.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here to help out the defense of Florida. That's fine. You are Saleen. You're a Florida fan. Have you heard of this thing called secondary?
Oh, here we go.
Are you aware that Florida does not have?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you aware that Florida does not have said secondary?
No, I'm not aware of that because I do remember seeing the secondary A on the field and B playing and getting 3 interceptions against Georgia, for example. and several interceptions last week against the Wildcats, and several interceptions against the Doors. So I'm aware of the concept of secondary. I'm also aware that we have one. I am also aware of the fact that Florida's secondary could play a lot better, and they could play for 4 quarters, which would be nice. But I'm also aware that Matt Jones is not infallible. So, I stipulate for the record, Alabama's defense is better than Florida's. I mean, a blind man with 2 firing synapses in his brain can figure that out.
Yeah.
I also stipulate that Florida has just as good an offense as Alabama's, and that Alabama hasn't played a team that can stretch them like Florida will.
That is fair.
I think the game will be a good game. I think the game is going to be a shootout. I also think that if Grantham doesn't get his head out of his oversized, fat, lily white ass and get his team, get his side of the ball to play 4 quarters instead of 2, that Alabama's going to run all over the place.
So the problem is playing for 4 quarters then.
And playing cohesively, yes. But Florida, is in my mind, and I've watched all the games. Florida defense only on a couple of occasions has played all 4 quarters. They have a tendency of not playing a whole game. The past 2 weeks show that. The past 2 weeks also show that when they do actually start playing defense, they play pretty good. They don't play great, but they play pretty good. But pretty good is fine against Vandy and Kentucky and Mizzou and South Carolina, and probably going to be good enough against Tennessee. And I believe we're actually going to play LSU on the 12th.
Yeah.
So against those teams, which we're supposed to beat, okay. But I got to tell you, when we played Georgia, I was scared. And when we go and play Alabama, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But Alabama is not God. They are not infallible.
Well, to push back on that point, Lane Kiffin called and said he still hasn't seen Alabama's defense.
Whatever.
Oh, boy. I thought he was going to push back on me, so wait a minute.
Yeah, I got a phone call from Lane Kiffin earlier. He said he still hasn't found Alabama's defense.
So all those turnovers we saw against Auburn or, Kentucky or whatever, what is he calling that?
I didn't say Gus Malzahn called. I didn't
No.
say.
No. I'm talking about. Oh, crap. I see what you're saying. You're basically referring to the Ole Miss game.
600 yards ball.
Yeah, I got you.
Sir.
I got you. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna grab something to eat, man. I'll catch you later, Dane.
Hey, Chris, I appreciate you stopping by and the support, and I also appreciate the 4 watches. I can't wait to get them. Chris is a good dude. I appreciate that.
Man, he's not bad.
He's a good guy. It's just Clemson, purple and orange. I never understood that combination. Anyway, well, Alabama's defense was suspect, but in all fairness, I've got to say they're playing better now than they were. So
yeah.
Well,
I honestly
I wish
think
I could say the same about Florida, but
my thing about that is, and it goes back to what Ballard just brought up. Okay, they look better against Auburn and Kentucky, 2 terrible teams.
They
Well, Ballard did already stipulate that Florida's offense is going to stretch Alabama's defense like they've never been stretched this season. So
I mean,
there's
it's
that.
fact that, when they meet in December, this will be the best quarterback that this defense has faced all year long. It's not even a debate. I mean, Kyle Trask is right there to win the Heisman. He's like second or third.
No, he's first, actually.
Oh, is he?
According to
the
ESPN
Florida
rankings and all the other rankings, it's Trask's to win or lose. And what's going to determine it is going to be the SEC game.
Well, and let's be honest, there's going to be a little bit of an asterisk beside that, not taking anything away from Mac Jones or Kyle Trask. But does anybody think that in a normal season it wouldn't be Trevor Lawrence 1 and 2 or vice versa? I mean, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
No, I agree. If
In a
this
normal
were a normal season, Trevor Lawrence would be the leading candidate if he played to his potential, like he did in his freshman year. I would definitely agree that it would be Lawrence was going into the season. He was the front runner, but you know what? He got sick. He missed some games. Clemson had problems. They missed some games. He ain't, it's a numbers game. And Lawrence doesn't have the numbers in this year. I mean, you can't take the totality of his career. It's this year. He doesn't have the numbers that Trask does.
I'm not taking anything away from Trask, and I'm not talking about totality. But I'm saying if Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields had played every game this year, their numbers would Trask and Mac Jones would be dwarfed by those two players.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think you also have to look at the fact that the Big Ten started later. If, let's say, Ohio State had started a little earlier at the start of the season, maybe played 10 games instead of 8, maybe that changes a little bit for Fields.
Maybe. But now Ohio State is what, 4 games?
Something like that.
That's exactly my point. Is Trask and Mac Jones are ahead of everybody simply by dint of number of games they played.
Yeah. Okay, but I think from a logic standpoint and other standpoint, you're absolutely right. However, the counter would be can't really fault Trask and Jones for being in a conference that decided to start early and manage somehow on both teams to play all their games.
Yeah, I'm not faulting them in the least bit at all. I'm just saying in a normal given year, those two would be fighting for the 3rd and 4th spot.
Yeah, I agree with you, Slim, but I agree with you. We're not in a normal year, obviously. Jesus, this year has been anything but normal. You know what? Hang on a minute. Hold that thought. You know what, Pizza Woman? You're a mod. But with great power comes great responsibility. Do not abuse the mod. Besides, I need a mod in there right now. It's obviously getting a little crazy in there. So you're a mod, Pizza Woman, but just don't make me regret it because I'll take it away.
Yeah, so
anyway,
like you more than you do me.
Huh?
Said you like Pizza Woman more than you do me.
Yeah, man.
I hadn't modded you. I thought you were a mod, Slim.
I've been here since December. Where you been, buddy? I ain't got no range. Mm-hmm.
I'm just joking. I ain't particularly worried about it. I don't worry about that stuff like some people do.
If I could find you in here, Slim, I'll make you a mod, but I can't find you.
I'm like you. I try to timing people out.
All right, next time I see you post in the comment section, I'll make you a mod. I just don't see one.
I think I posted that one, and then I came off my lunch break and I was driving.
Oh, you driving right now?
Yeah, I headed up toward Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, Ballard, you're a mod, but don't screw around with it. Oh, you're going to Wisconsin? Jeez, that's cold up there.
Actually, it's about the same as it is around Memphis. We've had a cold snap down south. It's been in the low 40s during the day and the mid 20s at night. And it's around about the same up there right about now.
Ew. No, don't like that. Don't like that at all. No.
Right before you got off with my uncle, he's in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. He actually just retired from American Airlines, and I just called him to make sure that it wasn't hip deep in snow up there.
Oh, snow. Dude. I just got a text from a good friend of mine. She and I went to high school together, and she lives up in Ohio now. And she sent me a couple pictures of her property, all covered in snow, and looks like at least a good 4, 5, 6 inches. And I said, no, don't like that. I said, I hope you have a good snow blower. She says, no, I have a son.
Jeez. The worst we've had around Memphis, as long as I've been there, was I think it was around 2008 or 9. We got 16 inches dumped on us overnight.
Wait a minute. I got to get this one. Jerry wants to know what I think about the new Bronco. I haven't read any detailed report about the new Bronco. I don't even know what engines they use. I assume I'm hoping that one of the engines they put in there is a Coyote, but I guess they're going to probably put the EcoBoost in them or something, which is not a bad engine.
There's an option.
I have seen pictures of them though. They really, really look really nice. Are they a full size Bronco, or are they like the mid size like the Bronco 2 was way back in the day?
The Bronco.
They're like the full size Bronco?
No, the ones I've seen look more like the Bronco 2.
Oh, okay. But still, that's a good size. If maybe I ought to take a drive over to the Ford dealership, not in my Saleen, because they don't like it when I pull the car up on their lot, being heavily modified like it is. But I ought to go take a look at one just for the hell of it, because it really looked great in the pictures. Also, Jerry wanted to know from you, Slim, what bowl would you like to see Miami play in?
I mean, personal preference, they're the bowl. Obviously, Orange Bowl against Florida, I'll take it. And I actually kind of agree with Lou. I'd like to see Miami and Georgia lock up.
That'd be great.
Either one would be a good game.
I think Miami Georgia would really be an interesting game. That would be that would probably be Orange Bowl, I guess.
I don't know.
Or maybe Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, Miami's only got one loss, right?
Right.
Are they playing anymore this year? I don't say that to troll. It's an actual question.
They are.
I mean, Florida State doesn't give up.
Wake Forest canceled this week because they're 8-0. But what the SEC or ACC did was put Duke in their place, and then we've North Carolina and Georgia Tech to finish off.
Okay, so you're probably only going to have the one loss.
Probably.
I think Florida State has just wrapped up their season. They just say it's not worth it anymore. 2-6 is good enough for the Criminals.
I have a bet with Pigskin Pete on the Miami North Carolina game.
I assume he took North Carolina.
He did. He thought
that's probably going to be a good game.
I think so. I think Miami can take them because from what I've seen this year, I mean, for example, both teams have played Virginia. You know, Virginia dropped 45 points on North Carolina and beat them, and we only gave up 14 to Virginia. So I think we're going to keep their offense in check, and more than likely, our offense should be able to run all over their defense.
Where's the game being played?
As long as they haven't changed it, it's still in Miami.
I assume the Florida Tennessee game is still on at the moment, but you never know. I have the distinct feeling that BVD's heart is not going to be in any kind of a hate video he makes about the Florida game.
I might offer to do it for him.
Well, we know you hate Florida no matter what, so I mean, come on, man.
No, they're just my favorite punching bag. That's all.
Honestly, as far as Bama goes this year, I really don't care who they play in the playoffs or whatever if they make it there. Now I have preferences just for Matt, but dude, I just want Alabama to win the Natty this year. Honestly, it's been 3 years. I know that for some teams it's been longer, blah blah blah. But I mean, come on, it's Bama. They got to win another one at some point, and I want it to be this year. But if I had preferences, I mean, Clemson, the reason being because we need a tiebreaker. If you look at it, they're 2-2 against each other since the playoffs started. They both got 2 titles. And, I mean, it's all tied up between those 2 teams. We need a tiebreaker. Notre Dame, I really don't care. I mean,
Ballard,
Ballard,
just say the word that you want. You're dancing around the word when it comes to Clemson. Say it. Revenge.
Yes,
we want
revenge.
You want to take Sunshine's face and rub it in the AstroTurf.
Cut his hair.
Yeah, that's what you want.
There's that, or there's Ohio State with Justin Fields, man. That would be that. That's how you get Chess Hall to pull for Bama. Put both those 2 teams, Ohio State with Fields and Alabama in the Natty, because Chess Hall has said multiple times to me, whether it's on here or through text or whatever, he's like, dude, the last team I want, the last guy I want winning a Natty is Fields. Because then all crap's going to go down with Georgia.
Can you imagine? I mean, I know many Georgia fans, obviously. I mean, there's Lou, there's Big Dog Brett, there's SEC Dog, there's Rack Dog, there's Chess.
All of them.
All of them. If somehow overrated State U gets in and wins the Natty with Justin Fields, can you imagine the collective explosion of heads? I mean, their heads will blow up.
Here's what they already know what they would have had in Fields. They already know. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise them. It's not that it's going to be a surprise or anything, but I mean, they're sitting there hoping that maybe for the benefit of Kirby Smart's decision-making with quarterbacks like Fromm, Justin Fields doesn't get his hands on that golden trophy.
See, I will go to my grave, which hopefully is a while from now. I will go to my grave wondering how everyone in the TTC or whatever it's called clowns my head coach constantly about his decision making, but Kirby Smart and multiple years, I'm talking
with the quarterbacks
now of really bad quarterback decision making, gets a pass. I mean, they hit Mullen because he shows up to a game the day after Halloween dressed up in a Halloween costume.
He does one stupid thing.
Yet, he's worthless as a head coach. And yet Kirby Smart is a fucking genius, even though he has 4- and 5-star quarterbacks sitting on his bench, and he goes with 3 stars or worse?
Well, let me ask you this.
Help me
Kyle
understand
Trask.
that.
Kyle Trask this year. Compare him to what Jake Fromm did. Sorry about that, Slim.
Difference is, Saleen, Dan Mullen has yet to win a conference, much less make it to a national title game.
Okay, is that the only difference? I'll stipulate to that, but take that out of the equation, and you've got some, Georgia got some splaining to do. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Kirby Smart's defenses got him to the Natty and into the SEC and everything. His defenses did that.
Doubt.
That's what I think.
Well, that's how Florida got to the SEC championship game in 15 and 16. They sure as hell wasn't their offense got them there. They didn't have any. I mean, they literally had a quarterback who was basically a running back with smaller shoulder pads. He couldn't throw past 10 yards to save his life. And Alabama, exposed that easy enough.
Yeah,
but I will just never understand how Kirby Smart keeps getting pass after pass after pass. I mean, JT Daniels right now just made a fool out of Kirby Smart in 2 games.
With how good he played?
Yeah, well, compared to what Bennett did in the first few games. Bennett and the other guy, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Mathis.
Thank you. Yes, Mathis.
Like
Mathis. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Slim. Go ahead, Slim.
Made him look like a fool. Big Brom's concerned too.
Well, yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get how Kirby is a genius who can't spot quarterback talent and gets a pass. And, well, hell, every other coach in the SEC has made mistakes, but not to that level. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Like
I'm sorry. It's going to remain a mystery to me.
Doesn't like Georgia as much.
What?
It sounds like you need to find somebody who doesn't like Georgia as much as you that knows how to trash talk.
I know how to trash talk. I just can't do it on the fly as good as a lot of you guys. I really can't. That's why I never did fan versus fan with Lou, because and Lou actually asked me point blank, he asked me one-on-one point blank, why don't you do fan versus fan? I said, I can't trash talk on the fly like guys like Slim, guys like you, guys like BVD, guys like Chess. I for some reason I can't do it. I can't do it well, and I'd get boat raced. Besides, at the time, I was not really going to be worthy of trash talking against Georgia, who beat us 3 years in a row. Tennessee, trash talking Tennessee is a little bit too easy, but
well, let's be honest. Chess wasn't really trash talking. He was just yelling louder than the person who was going against.
Hey, Pizza Warren's got a great idea. Slim versus Law Tide.
Oh, man.
I'm going to pop some popcorn for that, man.
And I really don't know. I wasn't around for all that, so I don't know how Law Tide is.
Well, I was around when you did a couple of those fan versus fans, and I was just sitting back going, damn.
I just let Waikiki say what he had to say because it's West Virginia. What can he really say? Yeah, I mean it all depends on your opponent. And I mean, I've got some material for Alabama, but some of it can run out quick. There are just some teams you don't have as much material on. It's knowing your team and your opponent.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Listen, guys. I got to wrap up because I got to be somewhere at 2:30 and it's 2:00 now. So I got to wrap.
Yep.
But I appreciate everyone in the comment section, which is actually over here on I'm pointing away from it, but it's on this screen over here. And you two, and Chris, of course, my buddy Chris, for coming into the yard and entertaining and spending some time with me. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Saleen.
Hey, see you around, Ballard. Appreciate it.
All right, see ya.
Slim, be careful on the road out there. I know it gets a little slippery.
Yeah, luckily I'm looking free and clear all the way.
Good. That's good. All right, well, I'll see you on another stream.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good.
Thank you, sir. And everyone in the chat, Neo is here. Pizza Woman is here. Jerry. Appreciate Jerry always showing up. Let's see who else was in here. Albert Sancho was here for a while. Watch Lounge, that's Chris, so he was here. Jimmy Thomos. Jesus, I keep putting an N there when it's not there. Jimmy, one of my fellow exiles from No Good Reason to Stream. Glad you showed up, sir. Appreciate it. Uncle Lou made an appearance asking about whether he should take a hammer to his Rolex. So that's just crazy. Dave Sleeta, Sports Live in the ATL, he showed up. I am very glad that he went to the doctor and got that thing taken care of, and that he's going to be okay. Everyone who showed up in the chat, I appreciate it. Thanks for all the thumbs ups. Thanks for hanging out with me for an afternoon. I appreciate it. I will see all you guys on the streams, of course. And y'all be good, be safe, be well. Have fun shopping for the holidays. That's starting up, or is going on, I should say. But I'll see y'all next week, and I'll see y'all in other streams that you and I are usually on together. Peace.